Hey everyone, I am still Heponwana. Hopefully you are sticking around from that last run of Ascent. I'm going to be playing the King's Dungeon. You might be wondering, what am I looking at here? If you don't know the Playdate is a cool little yellow box. It looks a lot like the yellow box you see around the game on the screen. Playdate has a cool little program called Mirror that lets you capture the handheld device right on your screen, just how you're seeing it. Perfect for speedrunning. The console also has a little crank. That's the little thing spinning right there. It's a physical crank in real life. And so the Playdate, it's a cool little device that has a lot of little games, and some of them very speedrun accessible, the King's Dungeon being one of them. This is available on itch. Unlike Ascent, it's not free, it's a few bucks. It's well worth it, but it actually has a lot in common with Ascent because Ascent was the inspiration for the King's Dungeon. It is another Microvania, and so we're going to go through this game. Pretty much the whole goal, once again, just like Ascent, 5 power-ups that we are going to grab. We are doing any percent, so we want to go through as quick as possible. We don't care about collectibles. We just want to keep moving. This game right now has a community of 1. I am the sole runner of this game, so if you happen to have a Playdate and a few dollars to spare, go over to itch, find this game. I would love to have a bigger community. It's a lot more fun speedrunning a game when you can play off each other. So I'm going to go ahead and get started real soon. We will have the timer, but we'll also have in-game timer, which is really cool because it will be very accurate. We run on the leaderboards at SRC off of the in-game timer. So we will get going in 3, 2, 1, go. So this game, you're this little dude here. We're just going to jump. This game also, if you know what coyote jumps are named after Wile E. Coyote. It's where you fall off a ledge and you still have a couple pixels to jump. In this game, as long as you don't touch the ground, that was a collectible there. We have to collect that one. We're not going out of our way to collect them. They don't slow us down. But as long as you don't touch the ground, you can jump. So if I fall off of a tall ledge, I could jump like that. And we could do that and save a little bit of time to get through things. Here's our first power-up. It lets us climb these chain-like walls. And so we're just going to keep moving through here. A lot of this is about staying on a good cycle. It's also about, right here is a little tricky. So the controls are a little finicky when you're climbing the chains, which does lead to some cool glitches. I am sure if there were more runners, we could figure out ways to take advantage of glitches. Hopefully we don't see too much of glitches running this run or slowing it down. This room in particular is very glitch friendly, so we had a chance of kind of glitching through a bunch of things. Okay, I need to reset that room. I should go a little more patient. We're going to try and get ahead of everything there so that we could get through that in a shorter number of cycles. Here we get in our power up. Here is where the crank comes in. So I am physically turning a crank to open these doors. It is a physical crank. It looks like a little fisherman's reel on the side of this device. And it gives you a nice little workout because you've got to use that real fast to get those doors open as quick as possible. We will be back for that cheese. We're not going for 100%, but that cheese is going to be in our route. Now we have double jump, which is one power-up Ascent didn't have that I would have loved in Ascent. Yep, this is, that was a tricky jump because we are doing some weird coyote double jumps right there. But yeah, this is a device that looks a lot like a little Game Boy, but even smaller. Like it's a micro Game Boy that's a bright yellow color. It is the play date that this is on, and I'm actually going to reset that cycle. I did not care for that cycle originally. This room is pretty tricky because it's very easy kind of get in your head about what cycle you are on. Here we get my favorite speedrun move, the dash. We get it right away, or we get in right away. We can't use it too much because we don't want to just kill ourselves dashing into obstacles, but it does a great job of speeding things up for us. This room here is incredibly tricky because grabbing ladders is very hard on this game. Believe it or not, one of the hardest techniques in this game is grabbing a ladder. It is very hard to explain what it's like grabbing a ladder, but it plays out kind of interesting. Oh, there we go. I wanted to grab that treasure without actually having go to it. Now we have the last power up. It's kind of what I call going Super Saiyan. And by Super Saiyan, I mean pretty much we press down and we power up and blow up. And now we are actually near the end game because we have all the power-ups. We just need to get through a couple more challenge rooms. These rooms are extra hard. What's fun is this game also has a World 2. And World 2, it's not just a different map with a lot harder of challenges, but it's also the power-ups are in a different order. So you don't have the same, oh, bad timing there. This room is incredibly tricky. There we go. We're almost done now. We are approaching the last room. Just gotta talk to this king and time will be up. As soon as he's done talking, he goes on, and you cannot rush this quicker than you can mash the A button. If you hit B, you will reset his dialogue, so gotta keep going. And that would be time right there. And so, what's cool is you'll see RTA and in-game time are almost perfectly matched up. In fact, they would be matched up if my foot was a little quicker and more accurate on hitting the pedal for starting and stopping. But this game is really cool because there is a whole second world to it. The second world, different layout, different challenges, a lot harder, a lot more fun in my opinion because of the challenge. There's 100% categories for finding all of the cheese. There is also, it keeps track of your times for you. So it's real fun where you could see like these right here are the any % world records because I'm the only one running this game. I would love for more people to run this. If you do have a play date, consider picking it up. It is amazing. That is it for me for tonight though, but I am going to be back tomorrow with some less micro-sized games. I'll actually be running The Quiet Man and Below the Ocean. So one of the worst games I know and one of my favorite games in the world. And once again, it is still March 31st where I live. I'm on the west coast of the US, so happy Trans Day of Visibility. To all of my amazing trans friends and all of the amazing trans people out in the world. And with that, thank you everyone, and I will be back tomorrow.